Hello, welcome back to Visionary Fragrances. Today I want to discuss, is this a killer of this? This is not going to be a massive review of Aventus because I don't really know how much more I can add, to be honest. It's a fragrance that has been talked about to death by everyone who has ever been interested in fragrance, so there's not a whole lot more I can add, but I will give you my small thoughts on it a bit later. But this is mainly going to be a review about Creed Viking Cologne and how I went from not being incredibly impressed to absolutely loving this release. Enjoy the video. I wore Creed Viking Cologne today after my shower after the gym, and I was reminded about how fantastic this was. When I first got this, I bought this originally because it was a new release and I bought it for my website, Visionary Fragrances, sell samples. I bought it for the site because I thought it was a new Creed release, it's going to sell really well. And I had my first sort of thoughts on it and I wasn't very impressed because I just thought it was another classic style barbershop cologne that didn't smell like anything new, and I knew that after my first try it wasn't going to be have strong performance, which I really wanted after paying so much money for a new Creed release. But after experiencing it quite a few more times since then, I have since changed my mind and realised actually how good this is. I think the issue is with Creed is because of the price point, because it's they are so expensive for 100ml. You're looking at I think £240 for the Creed Viking Cologne. Because of the history of their really popular fragrances like Aventus, being, you know, massive compliment getters, being strong fragrances that everybody around you smells and asks you what you're wearing and these kind of things, they've got kind of an expectation to live up to. And when fragrances now, the Creed, the Aventus included, and possibly the other fragrances don't perform how they used to, that's when we run into a problem with forgetting about just judging the fragrance for how it smells, and then we just go to how it performs. And that is exactly what I did. I realised that just because it doesn't perform all that well doesn't mean that it can't be a really great fragrance to wear. And the performance is not unbelievably bad, it just doesn't perform that well. You're still going to get a few hours of nice performance and it's still a great fragrance to wear. When I wore it today after a warm shower, just to really freshen you up in like the afternoon time. This for me smells like a perfect gentleman. It smells like the ideal man, and I'm starting to really love kind of cologne fragrances. I think it's either because I'm getting older or I'm just going through this journey and I'm starting to really appreciate cologne fragrances, citruses, lavender, barbershop, vetiver fragrances. I think they smell really good and they smell like kind of how I think a gentleman would smell. And what I love about Creed Viking Cologne is it doesn't smell outdated, it's got a real modern twist to it. I think that is really special. And like I said, there will be slight, I think, complaints on how this performs because I've seen them, I've heard people complain about this, but I don't get any worse performance from Viking Cologne as I do with Aventus. I think they perform quite similarly. If anything, I'd say this performs slightly better. I got a really nice projection from this today. The main notes for me of this are going to be mandarin, rosemary, nutmeg, and vetiver. They are the main notes I get. There's some other notes in there as well, but when I spray this on and we go through, they're the main notes I get. So it's going to be a kind of typical barbershop style fragrance, but as I say, it smells really modern, it smells really well put together, and it smells like the ideal gentleman. For me, the notes of Creed Viking Cologne really seem to harmonise so well together. It's like they're blended in the perfect amount. So you've got the perfect amount of each note and it's like they dance on your skin. That's how it feels. It's very kind of energetic, it's effervescent almost, and it just really smells like a real fun fragrance when you spray it on your skin. It projects nicely when you first spray it on. It's a beautiful citrusy, lavender, woody fragrance, and I think it smells wonderful. The problem with Aventus for me is it just doesn't particularly excite me anymore. I find that I just don't reach for this. I don't know if it's because I've got other things in my collection or I just become bored of it. You know, there are so many fragrances that smell similar that you find it seems to me that you're smelling this DNA all the time, and that's what I like, something different with a more modern twist like Viking Cologne. I think if you look at the history of Aventus and why it was so popular, I believe it was the sheer compliment factor of this, which is why it made it so popular. Now, whether as an individual you care about compliments or not is not really the point here. The point is that I think it's the reason why this was so popular. People love getting compliments. If you look at why men especially buy fragrances, is because they want to get compliments. I'm not saying everyone cares about that. I don't really care about that, but I know a lot of people do. And this was a vastly complimented fragrance back in the day because it was stronger, it was smokier, and I did a video on comparing different batches of Aventus, and I think people really noticed it before. But now what are you left with? You're left with a fragrance that you are wearing just for yourself. I don't get compliments with this. This is a newer batch. I don't know what year this is, probably 2021. I don't get compliments with this. It smells nice, but it doesn't project out much, and it doesn't last long on my skin at all. So what are you left with? You're left with just wearing a fragrance for yourself. And if you're going to do that, then you're going to want to wear a fragrance that you actually love and not just one for compliments. So that is where I would wear Creed Viking Cologne, because it smells amazing. I love the smell, even if it's just for myself, and because it makes you smell like the ideal gentleman, at least in my eyes, it gives you confidence, and that is a really great reason to wear a fragrance. Now, you might be wondering why I am comparing these two, because they don't smell anything alike. Creed didn't release Viking Cologne to be a replacement to Aventus. They are just two different fragrances. The reason why I'm comparing them is because firstly the price is similar for the fragrance. I think Aventus might even be a little bit more the similar price. And also, the reason why I'm comparing them is because you would wear these both in the same situation. They're both fresh, fruity fragrances that you would wear at a similar time. Whether that's after the shower, whether it's on a hot summer's day, going on vacation, they're both equally worn together. It's not like one is a cold weather fragrance and one is a warm weather fragrance, or an office and a date night scent. They're both great to wear in similar circumstances, and that is why we're comparing them. Guys, please let me know what you think. Have you tried Creed Viking Cologne? What did you think of it? Let me know down in the comments. And what do you think of Aventus? Which one would you pick if you had to choose one of these fragrances? Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you in a few days. Take care.